welcome to Get It Straight with Kate, and I am currently at Freestone here with the owner, Mr. Clayton Miller, and we're currently at the starting gates with getting ready for the races to start. And yeah, so you want to tell me how this weekend is going for Texas Winter Series?
This weekend's been good. You know, we're blessed to have a sunny day like this. We've had some wet ones over the years, and even this year's 25th annual Winter Series, you know, it's been cold and wet. We had some cancellations, but you know, the racers persevered and everybody showed up. So it's been some great racing today.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, let's go over about your upcoming race, which is JS7. You want to tell me how long you've been doing JS7 for, and like how you started this, or?
So this will be the 14th annual James Stewart Spring Championship, and how it started was there's always been 2 races in Texas, and one of the other racetracks was shutting down. And the industry had actually been asking my father for a couple years, like, hey, we want you to do the event. And we just said, no, we can't do that. We support the other track. Well, then a friend of mine was at a high school football game with the owners of that property, and they said, yeah, we're done doing races over there. And called up my dad and said, hey, we're launching the flyer. The industry's been asking us, so we're going to go ahead and do it. And that's how it started. So it took a few years to gain the traction and get the momentum going and build up to what it was, and it's an AMA major event, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of the top kids come here and race, and it's kind of been history for many, many years to come to a couple tracks in Texas in the spring, so it's really good to be a part of that.
So why did you name it JS7, and what does that stand for? I mean, I know what it stands for, but you know.
So originally it was the Freestone Spring Championship, and after the first year, Red Bull and James Stewart were together, and James said he wanted to have his name tied to something, be connected to the amateur racing, and they created that idea organically, and thankfully, you know, picked us. And so it's really cool. All the champions get to go to James's house, and they get to go race. Well, they get to go ride at his track. And, you know, Malcolm, his brother's there training, and you know, there's been numerous championships that have been cultivated from their home ground. So that's really cool. A lot of the kids get to go there and get to experience that. We also have the luck of the draw. So other kids that are here racing at JS7 have an opportunity to go there. There's tough luck awards. So the champions get to go, and then a select few get to go as well. And it's been really cool. They're so passionate about it. Their whole family is there working the event, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow, that is really amazing. Do you want to give me a little rundown of like the week, because it's a week-long event?
Yep, so Wednesday will be practice and time qualifying. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the pros have timed motos, 2 a day. They're 25 minutes plus 1 lap. And then your amateur programs just mixed throughout the whole day, or the whole week. Saturday, the WMX girls, they'll be racing on Saturday, so that'll be cool for them. They're going to have, I think, 2 15-minute motos is what they're deciding collectively for all the WMX events. And so it's just a lot of racing from Thursday through Sunday, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. So what is like the end goal of people racing JS7 for them?
You know, it's just one of the stepping stones on their journey to Loretta Lynn's and their journey to being a professional athlete. A lot of these manufacturers, they look at Freestone and this time of year to see where their kids are at going into Loretta's, and then even for some of their pro kids, they will look at it and see where they're at in case they need to use them as a fill-in ride. And the rules allow these kids to ride 4 outdoor nationals prior to Loretta's. You know, throughout the whole season, they can do it before or after Loretta's. So it's that turning point in the year, because it's only a couple of months away from outdoors, and it's a true pro motocross track at all the amateur nationals. So, you know, Gatorback is the only other track that had pro nationals that's doing it. And so, you know, it's cool. It's springtime, dirt's good, weather's typically good. You can have some rain, you can have some cold, but generally it's sunny and nice.
Okay, well, sweet. I'm looking forward to it. So during that week of JS7, do you have any like fun other activities besides motocross, or like are you gonna do like a whoop contest or?
So we have Red Bull Mini Moto Industry Pit Bike Race. Then we do a Verb Moto Pit Bike Race. we got the Malcolm Stewart FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament.
Oh.
They present awards for the biggest fish and the littlest fish.
Okay, do you want to explain that one to me? Like actual fish?
Yes. In the big pond, they get set up and they blow on the air horn when everybody starts fishing, and then they cut it off, and they're running up constantly and weighing their fish. And so we've got some awards for them, and it's a lot of fun. FMF hooks them up with a lot of stuff. Malcolm Stewart usually gives them a jersey. So it's some cool stuff. There's usually a dodgeball tournament. We've had one year that it was so windy one night that nobody showed up, and we do it right over here under the lights. And so you have dodgeball, and I'm trying to think, is there anything else? There's a Stasic race that happens one of the nights for the kids for riding Stasics. So there's a ton of activities that are going on. And so this year we've actually got some new stuff going on. We're putting in a golf ball driving range.
Ooh.
And we've got sponsors that are going to have some targets out there, and we'll have certain hours of the day that it's kind of activated, if you will, to where if the kids do chip shots into these targets, they can win some goggles or a Tamer hole shot device or some mended underwear. And we're going to have something that's like a par 3 distance, to where it'll be one grand prize winner the whole week, and it'll be maybe a pit bike or a Suron. We've got some big power sports dealers that are looking at some options. So that's some new creative stuff, and it'll be able to be happening all day long into the night. We'll have lights set up, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be 10 hitting mats and bag stands, the ball dispensing machine. We'll have some golf clubs for people that don't have any clubs. So that'll be an exciting amenity to have, because outside of riding pit bikes and golf carts and fishing, swimming, there's not a whole lot to do at dirt bike races.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I'm looking forward to that. So, do you do any kind of advertising to hype people up for JS7, or what are you doing to get people excited for your race?
Yeah, there's a lot of social content that we typically share, and a lot of other of the sponsors are posting stuff, and the athletes start resharing content from the year prior, and all the guys that do social media and the different companies that are involved. And so there's usually a pretty good build up to the event.
Are you expecting a lot of pros to come out to JS7?
There's usually a pretty good amount of them. It is a pro-am event, so the kids can get points for their pro license. But there's not a lot of outside pros that typically show up for that. It's typically your amateur crowd.
Yeah. Well, that's super cool. Okay, one final question. How are you guys preparing, your staff and yourself and your family for JS7? How does your week look? Your schedule?
It's the same format for any other event. There's a lot more banners and signage that goes up into that race. Yeah. Thankfully right now we've got some good weather, so getting the grounds cleaned up, stuff like that'll be good. Last year we had a lot of rain at the final round of the winter series, so it didn't get it took a little bit to get things cleaned back up. There's a lot of ruts. The pits were trashed, so just can't help it. Mother Nature sometimes throws a wrench in the gears.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at JS7.
Yep, thank you very much for coming out here. We appreciate it.